In this video, we will learn about how to prepare GS paper 4, that means the Ethics, Integrity and Aptitude paper. So before starting, please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss out any of my new updates. And if you feel that this video is beneficial to you, please like, comment and share this video with your friends so that everyone can get benefit from this video. And if you want to join my Telegram channel, then you can join it. The link is in the description below. So let's get started. The topic of this video. The topic of this video are number 1, syllabus analysis, number 2, sources, number 3, the importance of keywords, number 4, the importance of case studies and how to deal with case studies, number 5, the test series, which is the best test series for the ethics paper, then number 6, how to link the GS knowledge with the ethics paper, then number 7, the importance of quotation and the definition, then number 8 is the think as a bureaucrat, then number 9, 2019 UPSC ethics paper question analysis, and then the last, not the least, is the how to deal with and how to approach the ethics paper totally and overally, how to approach them. So before starting, I want to first start with the analysis of the syllabus of the ethics paper, right? So first you have to know the syllabus properly, then you have to approach the book list. So first I am going to start with the syllabus analysis. The number 1 is the ethics and human interference. So that means here you have they have given in a very detailed manner, that means the essence, determinants and consequences of ethics in human actions, dimensions of ethics, ethics in private and public relationships. So they have detailed, they have give you the analysis, then how to deal with these topics. So in ethics paper, your syllabus is your best friend. If you analyze the syllabus properly, you will get the at least 120 plus marks in the UPSC mains paper of ethics. So your best friend here is the ethics rather than your book. Book will suffice but almost 50%, but your syllabus will help you to 100% prepare. You have to prepare a lot along with your syllabus. You have to underline the keywords of each and every keywords of the syllabus, and you have to search it in the internet or anywhere. You can also watch the YouTube video on those topic, or you can also I will give you a website, that means BBC Ethics. This website is very helpful for you to know the terms, to know the meaning of some terms, right? So this is the number 1 topic. Then number 2 is the human values. Here they will give lessons from the lives and teachings of great leaders, reformers and administrators, role of family, society and educational institutions in inculcating values. So here they told you that where you need to know the human values. So they have mentioned the sources. So here you have to know the human values of educational institutions, freedom fighters, administrators, so they and the moral thinkers. So they have given you a detailed analysis. Then number 3 is the attitude. Content, structure, function, its influence and relation with thought and behavior, moral and political attitudes, social influence and persuasion. So here you have to know each and every term of the syllabus, and you have to write it in your own language, in your own words. So first you have to underline the important keywords, and you have to underline, or you have to identify the at least 50 to 100 key terms, keywords in the syllabus, and you have to make your own questions, that how the questions can be formed from these keywords. What is human interference? What is attitude? What's the difference between the emotional intelligence and the emotional quotient? So here you have to underline the each and every words, and here you have to differentiate it, and you have to give your own language, own thought process, how you will understand by reading them. So before starting to write in your own language, you can refer any book, but I will personally recommend you, please write in your own language, own words. This will help you a lot, and this will given you a ready-made note for by your own self. Then number 4 is the aptitude and foundational values for civil service, integrity, impartiality and non-partisanship, objectivity, dedication to public service, empathy, tolerance and compassion towards the weaker section. So here in the Vision IAS ethics test series, I have got a questions, that means the difference between impartiality and non-partisanship, right? So if you well prepared the syllabus, you will get almost 50% of questions common in the main exam and also in the test series. So the most of the questions are come from the syllabus analysis. So here is the syllabus is the most important thing in your ethics paper. Then the emotional intelligence concept and their utilities and application in administration and governance. So first you have to understand what is emotional intelligence, then the concept of it, then how to utilize this and how to use this in your governance and how to use this as a bureaucrat. When you first you have to think as a bureaucrat, and when you give your service in the when you are in the service, how you will use your emotional intelligence, how you will define it your attitude. So you have to know the difference between the emotional intelligence and also the attitude. So and also the personality and also the attitude. So here you have to differentiate and you have to make your own questions, how the questions can be formed. Then the contributions of moral thinkers and the philosophers from India and the world. So here you have to read the moral thinkers from the world and also from the India as well. So what they have told you, and especially here the most important thing, the quotation. What they have told, you have to use the quotation by them. Like you can refer this book, M.K. Gandhi, My Experience with Truth. This the autobiography of M.K. Gandhi is very popular book, and I personally read this book. This is a very good book. You can also refer this one for your ethics paper. This will give you a extra boost to your preparation. Then number 8 is the public and civil service values and ethics in public administration, status and problems, ethical concerns and dimensions in government and private institutions, laws, rules, regulations and consigns as sources of ethical guidelines, accountability, ethical governance, strengthening of ethical and moral values in governance, ethical issues in international relation and funding, corporate and governance. So here you have to know the public and civil service values and ethics in public administration. So being as a bureaucrat and as an administrator, how you will deal with these challenges. So here they want to know from you how you will deal with these challenges. So for that they have given you some short topics, then how you will approach them and in which aspect, in which field you want to work. So here you have given the values in governance, ethical issues. So they have given you a detailed manner. Then the probity in governance, concept of public service, philosophical basis of governance and the probity, information sharing and transparency in government, right to information, code of ethics, code of conduct, citizens charter, work culture, quality of service delivery, utilization of public funds, challenges of corruption. So probity in governance, that means the moral values or the ethical values, how you will work in your governance. So probity means the transparency, how you will give your transparent work to the government. So they want to know that how the Information Act and the Citizens Charter, Code of Conduct. So for this topic you can refer the ethics in governance is second ARC report. So this topic will suffice in your ARC report recommendations. Then the case studies on above issues. So now the almost 50% of your paper or 250 marks for the ethics paper, almost 130 for the static portion, that means the theoretical portion of this, and that the rest is the 120 or 130. Sometimes it vice versa, sometimes it 130 and 120, sometimes it's 120 and this is 130. So then you have to practice a lot for the case studies. So case studies will come from your day-to-day life. They will give you a situation and you have to deal with this situation as a bureaucrat or as a stakeholder. So they will told you that you are the stakeholder of any company or any startups. So here the crisis has come. Then in this situation, what you will do for the company or as a bureaucrat or as a civil servant, any of them. So they will give you a situation, they will trap in your situation and they will ask you then how to deal with them, how to deal with challenges, how to face the challenges and in a practical way, not in a non-realistic way. So here you have to give a practical solution to the government which can be taken by the government. So your solution should be practical. So this is overall dimensions of the syllabus. So now we will start with the book list of the GS paper 4. Talk about the book list or the sources of ethics paper. The number one source is the lexicon. So the most important book is here, lexicon. But you can go for G. Subbarao, but this book is quite bulky. And it will take a lot of time to complete the whole book. But in my personal opinion, if you want to know each and everything in a short and concise way, I will recommend you please go for lexicon. This is a very recommended book by many toppers. So here is the lexicon. Then you can go for Vajiram Yellow booklet. I personally follow Vajiram Yellow booklet and selectedly follow lexicon. but I personally follow the Vajiram because they will give you in a concise and in a very short manner and to the point. This will give in a to the point, and their case studies is very much recommended. I personally follow the Vajiram yellow booklet case studies and the Vision IS 55 case studies of 2018. So these two case studies PDF will give you a very important case studies here for the preparation of case studies. Then the second ARC report. So ethics in governance. This report will help you in the GS paper 4 as well as in the GS paper 2. So as you all know, the governance is in the GS paper 2 also. So ethics in governance is a overlapping topic in the GS paper 2 and also in the GS paper 4. Then you can go for any autobiographics or novel which is related to moral thinkers concept, or any of them, like which I have already told you, the M.K. Gandhi's autobiography, My Experience with Truth. This will also help you in your ethics preparation. Then you can go for any YouTube channel or any website which will give you a extra knowledge or supplement with your books or notes. But here the almost all the topics are covered in the lexicon, Vajiram yellow booklet and the second ARC report, and along with the current affairs. So this is your almost all the sources have completed, but I will personally recommend you please choose any of them. Don't go for everywhere. Read less number of books, but retain it and revise it again and again. If you follow lexicon, then stick to it. Because I am telling in the Vajiram yellow booklet is good. Then you stop the lexicon and go for the Vajiram yellow booklet. Don't do this. If you start with lexicon, then go for lexicon. But if you have not started it yet, then you can go for any of them. So this is the almost sources. Then number 3 topic is the importance of keywords in the syllabus. So which I have already told you when I am discussing about the syllabus, that the importance of syllabus. You have to search each and every topic of the syllabus which UPSC has given you, and this is your best friend for the ethics paper, and this is your mentor guide whichever you told. So this is your almost all the sources, and almost all the sources are important here for the syllabus, and you have to search a lot of things and search each and every topic in the internet, and you have to make your own notes in your own thought process, what you understand by reading this topic. If I ask you what is attitude, what is emotional intelligence, so don't open any book, then ask yourself what is attitude, what you understand by the attitude term. So just write in your own language. First of all, if you feel that you are not comfortable with your English language or anything, then if you want to start the writing in your mother tongue, then you can go for it. I will personally recommend you, and I have done this. This is very helpful. What I have understand by the attitude, first I have written in Bengali, that is my mother tongue. Then I have written in English. This will help me to boost a confidence, and that is the most important thing, that what you have understand by the term. So this is first in your mother tongue, write in your mother tongue, then go for the English one if you feel problem. But if you are very much comfortable with it in English, then you can directly go for them. So then the case studies from the newspaper day-to-day life. So how to deal with case studies? This is the most important questions which came in the all the aspirants' minds, right? So here is the case studies, right? So how to deal with case study? When you are reading the newspaper, whatever it is, the Hindu or Indian Express or Dainik Jagran, any of them, but when you are reading the newspaper, you will get almost 4 to 5 cases, that is the corruption cases or the good cases, like any bureaucrat. I have read an article that Manipur or any northeastern states, a DM or a bureaucrat who have made a road by his own money, totally by his own money. So this is a good example of ethics, right? And also you have read that many bureaucrats got corrupted and they have take bribe, so they have got imprisoned. So this is the corruption case. So here you will get 2 cases, the good cases and also the bad cases. So here you will also use these examples in your ethics paper, and also you will got the case studies of many in the NCERT books and also in the day-to-day newspaper. So use these case studies in your writing. This will give a good and this will fetch a good marks to in your ethics paper. So I will highly recommend you, please, and also the case studies will be in a realistic manner, not in a filmistic manner. Your case studies should be day-to-day life basis and also in a realistic manner. And also I will told you that how to deal with case studies. So for that, I personally follow this one, that I give myself a situation. If this situation happens, what will I do? So first you have to give yourself a situation. That means when I am in this service and I got this problem, then what will I do? And you have to find out the solution. The solution should be in a realistic or the practical, the which can be taken by the government. So you can give yourself a case studies. That means if I trap in this situation, what will I do? And also you have to give the two option, always in a conflicting topic, right? Then that means you can't choose this one or that one directly. So you have to be a balanced manner. So take this example from your newspaper or any of the NCERT books or anywhere. So and practice a lot. Okay, for the case studies, practice is the only mantra. So you have to practice a lot for the case studies. I will recommend you can go for Vajiram yellow booklet case studies, Vision IS case studies, then the ethics case studies, lexicon case studies. So here I will recommend you, please practice a lot, at least one case studies every day. Every day. It will take only 30 minutes. Just 30 minutes, not more than that. If before going to sleep, you can just take a example from anywhere and you can just practice it. So this is the case studies approach. Then the test series. So what is the best test series? Which is the best test series for the ethics paper? So I personally follow the Vision IS test series, and I am the student of Vision IS mains test series. So they will give me the test series of GS paper 4 also. But after prelims, I will personally join Lokman IS ethics GS paper 4 the test series, because this is the most recommended test series for the GS paper 4. And they will give a good test series for the ethics paper. And I have seen many toppers told about this institute that they have got a good marks in the ethics paper. And in many review, you can also see in YouTube that Lukman IS is best for, and especially the Ansari sir, who is the main head of the ethics paper. So Ansari sir will give you a good strategy, and he will guide you for the ethics paper. So if you have not joined any test series till now, then I will recommend you can join for Lokman IS ethics test series. Then the linking of GS knowledge in ethics, like thought process of freedom fighters. Like, so if you want to boost your GS paper 4 notes or GS paper 4 marks, then I will highly recommend you, please link the GS notes or please link the GS knowledge with your ethics paper. Like when you are writing the ethics, you can add the world history freedom fighters, Indian freedom fighters, Indian philosophical, that means Bhakti and Sufi movement people. Then you can also use the freedom fighters, like the conflict between M.K. Gandhi and the Subhash Chandra Bose, the ethical conflict between them. Then the B.R. Ambedkar and the Gandhi. So you will use this term. If you use this term, and also the political science, if you can also use the polity or the governance notes of your GS paper 2 in your GS paper 4 also. So here is the, if you want to get a good marks, I will highly recommend you, please use your GS 1, 2, 3 knowledge in your GS paper 4. That means the economy. So first you have to write in a GS knowledge also, then you will get a good marks for the ethics paper. So this is the sixth topic. Then number 7 is the quotation and definition. So I will highly recommend you, start with your notes or start with your writing any quotation or any definition. So if the question demands the quotation, then you can go for quotation. If the question demands for the definition, then you can go for definition. But any of them, this will give you a good marks and you will fetch a good marks in the ethics paper. So definition of the keywords. So in the questions, in the theoretical questions, you will get almost 2 to 3 keywords. After, when I am analyzing the 2019 ethics paper, I will tell you that you will get in a 2 to 3 keywords in each and every questions. So in each and every questions, you will get 2 keywords at least. So first start with the keywords, and if you get the questions, like they will give a 3 to 4 quotations, and they will tell you that the how to analyze these quotations in your own language, what you understand by them. So for that, I will recommend you can start with that quotation and you can illustrate in your own language. But if the questions demands the keywords, then please start the questions or the answers in your definition of that keywords. So this is the 7th topic. Then number 8 is the try to imagine as a bureaucrat while reading the crisis in newspaper and ask yourself what you will do in that situation. So first I will recommend you, when you are writing the mains answer writing, when you write in the test series, when you write in the actual exam of UPSC mains, please think as a bureaucrat. Please think you are a civil servant and government wants to know from you how to deal with these challenges. Don't behave like an aspirant here. Please behave like a civil servant or a bureaucrat. And if the case studies demands you to be a stakeholder of any startups or any company or anything else, then behave like that stakeholder, right? So please behave like maturely and practically, and you have to behave like a public servant here. What you have to do as a public servant or a bureaucrat. So this is the 8th mantra. Then number 9 is the 2019 question analysis. So now we will understand the 2019 question analysis, how to deal with them, right? So let's start the 2019 question analysis. Now we will discuss about the case studies and also the questions of 2019 paper, right? The ethics paper. So first start with section A. So in the questions you will get section A and section B, right? So in the section A you will get almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Almost 12 questions here. So you will get almost 12 questions for the static one, and 12 into 10, that means the 120 marks, and the 130 is for the case studies. So start with question number 1 of 2019 ethics paper. What are the basic principles of public life? Illustrate any 3 of these with suitable examples. So the question answer in 150 words, that means 10 marks. So each question has 10 marks and you have to write in 150 words. So here is the keywords is the basic principle of public life. So what is the principle of public life, right? And illustrate in any 3 of these. So you have to write in a 3 or any 3 of the public life principles. So here first start with the what is the principle of public life. Your introduction should be the principle. What is principle of public life? Then in the next para you have to illustrate in a 3 small paragraph. That means number 1, 2 and 3. That means the 3 principles of public life. So this is the approach of question number 1. Then number 2, what do you understand by the term public servant? Reflect on the expected role of a public servant. So this is the, here is the term is the public servant. So your answer should start with what is public servant, the definition of the public servant. So the question demands you with the definition. Then reflect on expected role of a public servant. Then you have to give the what is the expected role. What we expect, what the normal people or the other people expect, the what they expect or what the demands of the any public through the public servant or the civil servant, right? So this is the question number 2. Then number 3, effective utilization of public funds is crucial to meet the development goals. Critically examine the reasons for underutilization and misutilization of public funds and their implications. So, effective utilization of public funds. That means, as you all know, government recommended or government allocated amount of funds for this work or that work. But sometimes it doesn't happen in reality. And this is the misutilization or the underutilization of the public funds. So in the utilization of the public funds, what is the role of a bureaucrat or what is the role of a public servant, and how to deal with these challenges and how to deal with this problem. That means when you are as a bureaucrat and you will face that this problem is the under implementation or the underutilization of the public funds and how you will deal with these challenges. The demand is the question of that. Then non-performance of duty by a public servant is a form of corruption. Do you agree with this view? Justify your answer. Non-performance of duty. The number 1 keyword is the non-performance of duty. That means what is your duty? What is your duty as a public servant? If you don't permit the duty and if you don't do those duty which you have to do for as a public servant, this is the non-performance of duty by a public servant is a form of corruption. Do you agree that? That means if you don't do your actual demand or the actual work, is it a corruption? What do you think? So here the question demands your opinion. What do you think? If you think that this is a corruption, then you can write it in your own language, and if you feel that this is not a corruption, so then you can also write them also. Then number 3 is the what is meant by the term constitutional morality. How does one uphold constitutional morality? That means the term is here, the constitutional morality. What is the question demands the definition. So first you have to start with the constitutional morality. What is constitutional morality? And in the second phase, you have to write the how does one uphold. That means the validity or the integrity of the uphold constitutional morality. How you can control or how you can deal with this and how you can uphold the constitutional morality, right? So you have to first in the first para you have to write the what is constitutional morality, then in the second para how to uphold them. Then the what is the crisis, what is meant by crisis of conscience, how does it manifest itself in the public domain. Here is the term is here crisis of conscience. That means in the crisis what will you do and what is your conscience. So here is you gave in a lexicon the term crisis of conscience. So first you have to start with the definition of crisis of conscience and how does it manifest itself in the public domain, and in the public domain how it manifested. So here you have to give in a 2 paragraph. Then explain the basic principles of Citizens Charter movement and bring out its importance. So the Citizens Charter movement, first you have to write the what is Citizens Charter, and you have to give the ARC recommendations, and you have to give the Citizens Charter explanations, and the bring out its importance and how it gave a importance and what's the role of the Citizens Charter in the public domain or the governance. So first you have to elaborate them. Then there is a view that the Official Secrets Act is an obstacle to the implementation of the Right to Information Act. Do you agree with this view? First you have to know the what is Official Secret Act. So your answer should start from what is Official Secret Act and then the what is RTI Act. So Official Secret Act is the government can secretize their official data if this data related to the internal security of the government or anything else. So this is the Official Secret Act, and the RTI Act is anyone can demand the government data or anything else to know about it. So you have to know the proper definition of this term. So then you have to write in your own language and in your own thought. That means how these conflict each other. As a government is told you that you have the right to know each and everything, and then also government will tell you that they can also hide their anything else. So this is the conflicting each others, right? So here you have to give your own thought in their questions. Then what do you understand by probity in governance? Based on your understanding of the term, suggest measures for ensuring probity in governance. So here you can see that when I am discussing about the syllabus, you can see this term that the probity in governance. So that time I have told you that if you know the syllabus properly and if you understand the each and every terms and the definitions of the syllabus, this will help you also in the actual exam. So here they want to know what is probity in governance. That means the transparency in governance and how to deal with them based on and suggest measures to ensuring. So they want to ask you some way forward or the solution or the suggestions how to deal with them and how to keep the transparent situation in the governance, right? So then number B is the emotional intelligence, is the ability to make your emotions work for you instead of against you. Emotional intelligence. So here is the term of emotional intelligence is the ability to make your emotions work for you instead against you. So do you agree with this view? So how the emotional intelligence will affect your public work? So they want to know how does it affect or not, and if affect, then how it will work, right? So this is your own opinion. Then what do each of the following quotations mean to you? So these are the questions which I have already told you. These are the static questions or the theoretical questions or the definition based question. Then the questions came in the 3 questions here. Is the quotation mean to you? That means here they will give you 3 quotations and you have to write it in your own language what you understand by reading these quotations. Number 1 quotation, an unexamined life is not worth living, Socrates. Then number 2, a man is but a product of his thought, what he thinks he becomes, M.K. Gandhi. This is a popular quote by M.K. Gandhi. Then where there is righteousness in the heart, there is beauty in the character. Where there is beauty in the character, there is harmony in the home. When there is harmony in the home, there is order in the nation. When there is a order in the nation, there is peace in the world, by APJ Abdul Kalam. This is also a famous quote. So they will give the quote, and what you understand, and they will give you they want to know about the analysis, what you understand by these quotes, and they want to know the analysis of these quotes. So here you will get the 3 questions on quotations. Then the case studies came. The number 1 case studies. You are the heading and rescue operations in an area affected by several natural calamities. Thousands of people are rendered homeless and deprived of food, drinking water and other basic amenities. Rescue work has been disrupted by heavy rainfall and damage to supply basic routes. The local people are seething with anger against the delayed limited rescue operations. When your team reaches the affected area, the people there heckle and even assault some of the team members. One of your team members is even severely injured. Faced with this crisis, some team member pleads with you to call off the operations, feeling threats to their life. In such trying circumstances, what will your response? Examine the qualities of a public servant which will be required to manage the situations. So, which I have already told you that they will give you a crisis or the situations, what you will do in the crisis. So, they will give you a situation in a natural calamities. All the basic amenities is not available to the general public, and you have to deal with these situations, and the normal people or the local people is full of anger and they have injured your any team members, and what we will do at this moment, you will call off the operations or you will stay there and work for you. So this is the actual situations, and what you will do in this situation, you have to write it in your own language, in your own opinion. This opinion will differ person to person. So this is the case studies is totally based on your opinion, and by reading the case studies, the examiner will understand which type of person and what type of mindset you have and which type of person you are. So when you are writing the case studies or the ethics paper and also the essay paper, please be careful. Don't show your any negative point or any negative mindset. Be positive, and your opinion or in your view should be an optimistic way. So being as a public servant, you should be as an optimistic way, not to in a pretend way. You have to be really in an optimistic way, not to be pretend in your only exam and then you will be a negative person. Don't do this. You have to be a positive person to being a civil servant. Then number 2, honesty and uprightness are the hallmarks of civil servants. Civil servants possessing these qualities and are considered as a backbone of any strong organizations. In the line of duty, they take various decisions. At times, some become bona fide mistakes. As long as much decisions are not taken intentionally and do not benefit personally, the officer cannot be said to be guilty. Though such decisions may at times lead to unforeseen adverse consequences in the long term, in the recent past, a few instances have surfaced wherein civil servants have been implicated for bona fide mistakes. They have often been prosecuted and even imprisoned. These instances have greatly rattled the moral fiber of the civil servants. How does this trend affect the functioning of civil services? What measures can be taken to ensure that honest civil servants are not implicated for bona fide mistake on their past? Justify your answer. So here they want to know that in many recent cases you have go through that many civil servants got corrupted for their bad deeds. So this will affect the mindset of the new civil servant, right? Or this will affect the infrastructure of the civil servant and also the honest civil servant, and also they also affect their implications and their face for the honest civil servant. So how these challenges can be measured, and they want to know, and UPSC wants to know from you the solutions, which measures can be taken for this reason. Then number 3, an apparel manufacturing company having a large number of women employees was losing sales due to various factors. The company hired a reputed marketing executive who increased the volumes of sales within a short span of time. However, some unconfirmed reports came up regarding their indulgence in sexual harassment at the workplace. After some time, a woman employee launched a formal complaint to the management against the marketing executive about the sexually harassment. So this is totally the sexually harassment at workplace. So as you all know, since last 2 years from the Me Too campaign, the sexual harassment at workplace is in the news. So the question came in 2019, the sexual harassment at workplace. So if you are a woman employee and you are getting problem in your workplace as a sexually harassment, and you identify and you have fired a FIR in the police stations and identify the ethical issues involved in this case, what options are available to the woman employee. As a woman employee, what you will do in this case? So here you have to think as a woman employee, not as a bureaucrat, which I have already told you. They will give you a situation, and in those situations, in respect of this situation, you have to think as this person, right? So here you have to think as a woman employee who is facing the sexual harassment at workplace, and you have already got the get a FIR from the police, and also the stakeholder of that company is trying to console you by giving the money, right? So in this situation, what will you do? You will fight against him through legal way, or you will stop your case by taking the money. So this is up to you, and you have to give opinion on that. So this is the case studies 3. Then number 4, in a modern democratic polity, there is a concept of political executive and permanent executive. So here I will tell you in a brief. That means here the dilemma between the political executive and the permanent executive. That means the political executive are those who are politicians, right? Who are elected by the democratic representation. That means the vote, Lok Sabha vote or the Vidhan Sabha vote. So those who are represented or they elected by the votes, they are called political executive, and we are those who are preparing for UPSC and those who became the IS or the IPS or any BDO, DM, any of them, state civil servant or the Indian civil servant, they are called the permanent executive, right? So the dilemma between the real executive and the permanent executive, since in recent years, it's quite increasing, right? So the dilemma between them is quite increasing in the recent years. So as a public servant, how to deal with these challenges? The demand of the questions is there. So then the next topic is the next case studies is in one of the districts of a frontier state, narcotics menace has been rampant. In this resulted in a money laundering, mushrooming of poppy farming, arms smugglings, and stalling of educations. The system is on the verge of collapse. The situation has been further worsened by unconfirmed reports, and the local politicians as well as some senior police officers are providing superstitious patronage to the drug mafia. So in this situation, as a woman public servant, as a woman police officer, so you are as a well known for your skills, and you are appointed in these situations and how to deal with these challenges. So being a part of government, so you know that the part of any government, that means the police officer or the public servant is also involved in these corruptions with the mafia, and they give a good patronage to the mafia. So after knowing this, as a woman police officer, how to deal with these challenges, right? So this is your situation. Then last is the 12th number. In recent times, there has been an increasing concern in India to develop effective civil service ethics, code of conduct, transparency of measures, ethics and integrity system, and anti-corruption agencies. So in these situations, focus on 3 specific areas which are directly relevant to the problems of internalizing integrity and ethics in civil services. So here is the second ARC report will help you. The transparency or the probity in governance and the code of conduct. So which you have to keep in mind while you are serving as a public servant. So this in the threat. So these 3 problem is the anticipating specific threats to ethical standards and integrity in the civil service. Number 2, strengthening the ethical competence of civil servant. Number 3, developing administrative processes and practices which promote ethical values and integrity in civil service. Suggest institutional measures to address the above 3 issues. So these are the 3 problems which they have give you, and you have to give the measures or the solutions which can be taken by the government to carve out this problem. So these are the all the case studies and the questions of 2019 GS paper 4. So we have almost complete our discussions, and we have almost done all the discussions which is necessary or which is needed for the preparation of GS paper 2. So we have to stop our discussions. I know this video is quite long, but please keep patience and watch it till the end. So I hope this will helpful for all of you. So thanks for watching. Take care. Goodbye.